Welcome back to the channel Trading Simplified. I'm a trading enthusiast and love to simplify trading. To get started, just a reminder that I'm not a financial advisor and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Alright, welcome back to the channel. Plus 622 on AMC today. Just want to show the gains. Today was definitely a good day. For everybody listening in, everybody knows I like to play buying the dips. I like to buy when the stocks are red. I try not to buy on green days unless I'm just trying to play the momentum. So now let's get into the video. So with AMC, I decided to buy the dip here. And this is the 5-day chart right now. But I was talking in my previous video how AMC, actually let me just come out a little bit further. You can see that AMC had a high of it was up to $52. And then over the last 5 days, it just really sold off. It went from $52 all the way, sorry, let me just fix this, all the way to 37. So, I mean, just coming up from here at a high of, $48 down to 37. And I decided to buy, but I bought it actually a little bit late. I bought in the $39 range, which is actually kind of high, and I bought that yesterday, and overnight I held this. So that's very uncommon. I don't really do overnight holds, but the reason I did that is when I was looking at let's look at the year-to-date chart. The support levels were around here. So you can zoom in, and you can see it right here is where the $39 to $40 I felt would get a nice pop. And when I bought at $39, I held this overnight and I was kind of concerned because in the pre-market it was selling off. It was like $38 and I was actually at work, so I wasn't able to follow a stop loss. So it actually benefited me on this one, but I could have lost a good amount of money. But yeah, I just want to show my entry real quick. So I was in at $39. Where is it? Right here. And then we just had a nice boost up here. Up until and I sold way too early, but I just looked at the price real quick, saw it was up, and just sold it. I didn't anticipate that to be going up as high as 40s, and I do believe that there is more to come with AMC, but I don't like to really hold too often. I just felt like that was a monster sell-off with all the news that was going on. But I do believe that we do have more potential for gains. I feel like if AMC goes back to its regular price, I mean, it was just down from a high of, it was at $53 all the way down to 39. That's 25% dip. Now, if we can even get close to that $50 range, and you're able to hold shares and just fight through this, I just want to bring up the percentage gain so we can see it, because it is definitely worth playing if you can stomach those swings. I personally can only really hold on to them for a day. I can't really hold them that long. But if we do go back up to the highs of even $50, I mean, you're looking at a nice 20% gain on your money. I mean, 20% is huge on any investment. I try to do percentages when I buy these, but that was my trade for today. I traded AMC. I actually was holding. I didn't hold. I should have held, obviously. When you look at, hindsight is 2020, right? So when I was looking at JetBlue, actually, JetBlue, yesterday, I bought 1,000 shares, and if only I held it, right? So sometimes you got to trust your gut when stocks sell, and this is a very difficult thing to do because and it's not even showing it here, but in the pre-market, it was $14.73. Perfect, here we go. So I bought this dip. I saw that it was selling off, and it sold off all the way. I'm trying to bring up an arrow here. Now, JetBlue is one of my favorite stocks to trade, and I don't know why I didn't stay in it. I just didn't have the confidence. I stuck with AMC instead, but it dropped 6% in one day. I mean, that's a huge dip, especially for a stock that's literally like JetBlue. It's got billions of shares. It's been around forever. It drops all the way from $15.70 down to $14.65. I had 1,000 shares at $14.7, and I sold them at like $14.75, like a $50 gain. Not even really worth mentioning. It was just, with all the talk that's going on in China and not sure where the stock market's going to go, I'm just very hesitant to hold anything. But this is where people make the most money. You buy these dips, and then if you can hold. If I held for one day, you're looking at a nice $800 gain right there. So these are things you got to look at. I mean, you got to look at these monster pullbacks. And I always talk about the RSI. Look where the RSI was. It was below 30. I mean, that was a clear indicator on the 5 minute chart. Below 30. That was a perfect buy. All I had to do was just trust my gut and follow my rules. But that's what happens when emotions come into play, and sometimes it's tough to follow that. We're going to see where the market goes. I mean, just looking at some of the stocks here. Wish I still haven't bought yet. I'm still watching them. They're just still on a downtrend. I want to own this company because I feel like it's one of those meme stocks. But I always feel like if you're going to follow meme stocks, you got to go with the most prevalent one, and that one is AMC. But like here we go. We got that dip from $32 down to $5.91. I mean, how low can this thing go? That's really the story of it right now. And this is the lowest it's ever been. It's never been this low. I mean, it was. I assume it IPO'd at $20. I'm assuming. I don't really see. Let me see if there's like a max on this thing. Let's see what it started up here in the $18 range. It's down to $5. Now, I don't know if Wish even makes any money as a company, but it's just a purely speculative play. Maybe I'll hold shares and just see where it goes. And then NIO, with everything that's going on in China, I mean, I love buying NIO, especially when it's under like $35. I'm still trying to be patient and not buy yet. I want to get them in the 32 range. NIO is a company that this would be your support level, $33. This is where I want to make an entry. I'm still trying to wait. I know there's a huge upside potential for them. I'm just, with everything going on in China, I just don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does, obviously, but they were at a high of $52. They're back down to $35. That's a 31% discount. 31% off the top. Now, if we can get a rebound, we will. Even if it was back up to 52, I mean, that's awesome. That's like a 50% gain right there now. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to start maybe building a position into NIO. I do think electric vehicles is the future. It's just more efficient, but we'll just have to see what happens. PLTR, I did not trade. I stuck with AMC today because I just felt it would have more of a movement, but PLTR is really showing that it's here to stay in these levels. Surprisingly, even with the bad news, and it's 27.3 seems to be a level of support right now. So we'll see if it can come back because it was at a high of 29 a few days ago. But the last time, you got to be careful with PLTR. The last time it was at this price, it dropped from $27. It just dropped back down to $20. So that's why I'm a little hesitant buying them at these levels. And you just got to go with your gut sometimes. So right now, AMC is the play right now. That's the one I want to play. It's got good momentum. Just a few other things I added. I bought just $1,000 worth. I bought this dip of 1Q. I'm going to hold it, but I like to buy these index funds when they sell off because you had that nice sell-off from $59 down to $56.93. So I got them right around the 57 range. I also added to the International Fund. This is the Fidelity International Fund. This is another long-term hold. It actually doesn't come up, unfortunately, but this just invests in 100% equities. I have another video talking about it, so you can just refer back to that. It's just for coverage for holding it for 30 years. I try to buy the dips whenever they're there. And then my beloved Zoom, which I'm dying on, I pretty much, I have shares in the 298 range, and it has just died to 277. We're just going to hold on to it. I like Zoom long-term. Hopefully we get a pop. We'll see what happens with it. And I bought $1,000 worth of Schwab. This is the dividend company. Now, I love this ETF. I'm holding them forever. I just try to buy the dips. I mean, you could see a few days ago they were worth $78. They sold off 4 points. To me, that's just a no-brainer. I want to start adding them. They're going to pay me dividends anyway. And sometimes I feel like these dividend companies sell off just because they're paying a dividend. Everybody buys in for that ex-dividend date, and then it sells off. So, I got it down here. Got $74, $1,000 worth. I'll hold it for the next 30 years, and then we'll just keep adding to it as we keep making gains. So that was my trades today. I only had one, and it was just on AMC. AMC is something I'm definitely going to continue to watch, but we'll see. Honestly, another entry point. I try to be careful with stocks like this because they can really die on you real quick. I mean, look at these gains, and then you can really die real quick. So you just got to be very careful. And you have to follow a stop loss with these guys. I got lucky today. Today was not really following my rules 100%, but sometimes it goes your way. I'm going to be looking for an entry again. If it looks like it's strong, I'll try to ride the momentum, but if it pulls back to 37.5, that's where I'm going to be looking to get an entry because it looks like a nice little support level, and then it broke out through. That's all I got for you today, guys. Just wanted to follow up and let you know how I'm doing. If you have any comments, leave them in the section below.